Let's stay with matters involving the South African police. Joining me in studio now is Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo, who has been following matters involving police in court. Dumisani Khumalo, the head of intelligence, in court alongside others who are trying to have conditions to their bail amended. What was at the core of the argument?
So today was going to be two parts. There's the main case where there are 7 accused in relation to the fraud and corruption case. We didn't even get to that. Then there are 4 applicants who are applying to have their bail conditions relaxed. That's Dumisani Khumalo, he's the KZN crime intelligence boss. Josiah Slikalakala, he's the Gauteng crime intelligence boss. Then you've got Nozipho Madondo. She used to do intelligence analysis at the head offices, and now she's been transferred to KZN to become the district commander there, and that's going to be a very interesting part, so that's why I'm mentioning that now. And then there's Dineo Mukwele. She's accused number 7. She also initially was going to form part of the bail bid, the bid to relax the bail conditions, but she pulled out of the process this morning, citing an internal process that's continuing. So we were left with these 3. Now, what took place is that the last time they were in court, there was talk about an internal South African Police Service disciplinary investigation to look into, the conduct of these officers. You'll recall that they're charged for fraud and corruption in the alleged irregular appointment of accused number 7, Dineo Mukwele, who did not have top security clearance to be in the post that she was put in, as well as the necessary experience. Now, when it came to the start of the issue of the relaxation of the bail conditions, Fannie Masemola, the National Police Commissioner's affidavit, there was a call by the lawyers of these 3 to actually have the supplementary affidavit be admitted as a part of the initial application. And then there was a debate about whether or not this was submitted on time. The state said we only received this affidavit on Friday, and the contents of Fannie Masemola's affidavit, there are things that we need to verify. So, as a part of what Fannie Masemola, who clearly was assisting the bid and the case of these 3 to return to work, in his affidavit, he talks about how this internal disciplinary probe has cleared these crime intelligence officials and they can go back to work. The bail conditions said they must step nowhere near any crime intelligence premises across the country. Then Masemola goes on to say, well, actually, he's hamstrung by the courts because their own internal processes have actually cleared them. But the state then came back and said, well, we have an affidavit by an investigating officer, Brian Pariachi. They also read that affidavit into the record, and in it, this investigating officer says it's suspicious that Masemola comes and says that these officers have been cleared. I'm investigating, I'm speaking to witnesses. The investigations are at a sensitive and confidential stage, and even the head, the person who was appointed by Masemola to head up this internal inquiry, which is one Western Cape Police Commissioner, Thembisile Pategile, he's not spoken to me either about the status of the probe. So it is not possible for Masemola to confidently say that they've done and completed with certainty an internal probe that would allow these officers to return to work. And the response then was, which was very interesting, they used the case of accused number 3, Nozipho Madondo, the one who was said was transferred to the Ilembe district to become the district commissioner there. Her argument, her lawyer, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, was saying, well, the issue with her is that even in her new post, she's being prejudiced because as the district commander, she manages at least 3 divisions, which also include having to speak to crime intelligence officials. So how does this at a practical level work? So ultimately, Chief Magistrate Vusimuzi Mahlangu said, I can see that there are, he didn't want to say contradictions, he said maybe paradoxes, and we need to attend to this because Either way, this fact-finding mission could either collapse the case or strengthen its bid. I want us to listen to IDAC spokesperson Henry Mamotame on the state's bid to actually have this matter postponed.
You would remember that when they filed this motion last week in their application for the amendment of the bail conditions, they indicated that there was an indication that clarity is sought from the National Police Commissioner. Hence today, on Friday actually, we received an affidavit, a supporting affidavit, which we did not have enough or ample time to apply our minds on. So basically the bone of contention today on this particular application for the amendment of bail was for us to be afforded enough time to engage with this affidavit, as we have already placed on record that there are certain aspects of this affidavit that we really need to apply our minds on. Therefore, we are happy that the court heard our call, and we are happy about the postponement.
All right, Ziyanda Ngcobo, quite a lengthy two-part court process, but thank you very much for putting us in the picture there about what is at play. Fascinating for me is that there appears to be one individual who's tasked with internal investigations within SABS, Tembisile Pategile,
yes,
because he's involved in Sibia's case, and add to that, he has a very complicated province right now, riddled with gang violence. I wonder if that is going to tell us something at the end. Thank you very much, senior politics reporter Ziyanda Ngcobo.